A very warm welcome to my study table. I am Dr. Swati, and today I'll take you through how to make a financial plan. This is the part 3 of the personal finance series. A disclaimer note, these presentations are purely academic oriented and the content does not act as an advisory for investment. The intent of these presentations are to bring about clarity of concepts and enhance knowledge through caselets showing application of the concepts taught under BCom, BBA, MCom and MBA courses taught in India. All caselets are designed by the presenter to show how concepts can be applied as a part of blended and experiential learning. In parts 1 and 2 of the personal finance series, we learned what personal finance and financial planning were, what were the benefits of financial planning, which conceptually forms the basis of an individual's investment journey. We also learned how to identify and classify financial goals, thereby mapping them to the financial plans. Now you would remember Anna from the first and the second part of the series. She was beginning her investment journey with her friend Jasmine assisting her by familiarizing her with the process of financial planning. This is a quick snapshot of what we did in part 2 of the series, where we spoke about what financial goals were and how an individual can map his or her financial goals to the financial plans. If you haven't yet gone through part 1 and 2 of the series, you could go through them. They are on Introduction to Personal Finance and Financial Planning and Mapping Financial Goals to Financial Plans. So once you have defined your financial goals and mapped the same, you can move ahead with the following stages. It starts off with identifying your current financial situation and placing them on a timeline while quantifying them, identifying the financial gaps, and then making a suitable portfolio or a financial plan for oneself. So let's see each of these stages in detail. So coming to the first one, which is identifying your current financial situation. Now under this, there are 4 aspects that cover your current income, your current assets, your current liabilities, and your expenditures. So the first thing that you need to do is to pen down the sources of income. You could be earning a salary, a rent from property, share of profits from business, etc. Second, coming to the assets, write down all the assets that are in your name, which could be a house property, a 2 or a 4-wheeler, certain firm investments, bank account, financial instruments, etc. Third, list down the liabilities, current liabilities as well as future obligations. And finally, list down your current expenditures such as EMI, which is equated monthly installment on loan, insurance premium, rent, taxes, etc. And don't forget to add the ongoing expenses such as medical, entertainment, etc. So once you have done this, you will be a lot more clear about moving ahead with your financial plan. The second step is to identify your financial goals. Now, an investor would have already listed down his or her financial goals. So this step would help him chisel that a little more by giving it more perspective in terms of quantification and timing. There are certain factors that have an implication on setting financial goals. They are risk return appetite and expectations, future and current expenditure pattern, as well as contingency or emergency fund planning, the social economic environment of the investor, current and future responsibilities, and the time when the amount is being invested, and also the time for which the investor is looking to be invested. Finally, it is creating wealth despite increasing liabilities. Now, the next thing to be done is to place the financial goals onto a timeline. This is to see when the investor should invest and when can he withdraw the same to fulfill all the financial goals. So this brings in a lot of clarity, as you can see, and makes you a lot more organized, focused, and sure of your decisions. Quantifying the goals. So this is followed by quantifying your goals, that is placing a number against the goals that you have in mind, as in how much money would be required to fulfill each of these goals. And this helps in setting an approximate target that you would need to reach within a stipulated time. So if you can see here, alongside the timeline, I have placed certain values. So this is the amount required for, either purchasing a car or a home, foreign holiday trip, etc. So these are all the financial goals. This is the timeline. That's the time within which you want to be fulfilling these goals. And finally, the amount required to fulfill each of these. So this brings in a lot of clarity. The next stage is to identify the financial gaps, if any. The objective or the reasoning behind the same is to understand how to accumulate finance for the financial goal. Based on the current and the probable future financial position and cash inflows, one could plan the required amount of cash inflows required by the financial goals accordingly. Now the investor has reached the final destination point of making the financial plan. Now this is a snapshot of how you could pen down your plan and maintain records of the same for easy reference. These are few things that you need to document, them being investment avenues that you're interested in investing, capital or the amount invested or deposited in each of these avenues, the return or the interest rate, time invested for, so it's the entire time period for which you would want to be invested in each of these individual instruments, the end value, that is the capital plus the returns, the interest amount that you're getting, or the returns, capital appreciation, dividend, etc., and the withdrawal date, so the time when you're going to be withdrawing the entire amount. After analyzing all the available financial instruments, the investor will be able to list down all the avenues he is interested in investing in, along with all these detailings. So this was a caselet that we had seen in part 2 of this series. Let's revisit this caselet to see how we can begin making a financial plan for the family. Let me take you through the detailings of the case. Mr. and Mrs. Patel, aged 35 and 32 years respectively, have a 5-year-old son. Both work in a private sector company, earning approximately 2 lakhs per month together. Mr. Patel plans to retire at the age of 50 and probably start his own business. Currently, they stay in a 2-bedroom rented flat and own a small car. They're paying an EMI of about 5,000 on the car, and the EMI is going to be fully paid by April 2022. And the rent on their apartment is rupees 50,000. In the next 3 years, they plan to purchase a small house in Navi Mumbai, and the forecasted cost of the house is rupees 1 crore. Mr. Patel reckons he would require around 1 crore rupees in the next 12 to 15 years for his son's higher education, and he also hopes to build a corpus of about 1.5 crores for his retirement. Mr. and Mrs. Patel's other assets include bank savings account and fixed deposit of rupees 15 lakhs. So beginning with step 1, which is identifying the family's current financial position. So here we can assess the income, current income, the expenditure and the net worth of the family. So let's begin with the sources of income. The sources are salary and interest income. They have an FD on which they're getting interest on. So therefore, these are the sources of income. The assets, as mentioned by them, they have a savings bank account, FD and four-wheeler, on which of course there's an EMI, but the EMI is going to get paid by 2022. The liability that they have ongoing is car loan. Credit card is not mentioned. There are in fact certain things that I've mentioned here which haven't been specified in the caselet. But we're just assuming that these are the costs which the family expends on a daily basis. The expenditures is EMI on the car, rent that they're paying on their house, school fees, taxes, and ongoing expenses like medical, entertainment, travel, groceries, salary of house help, etc., and credit card payment. Okay, so the first stage is to identify the family's current financial position, and this gives us a clear view about what is the current situation. The second step is to place it on a timeline and quantify the financial goals that they have. So they have specified certain financial goals, as in, paying up their car EMI by 2022, buying a house in Navi Mumbai in the next 3 years, education in the next 12 to 15 years. So they would want to fund the son's education for in the next 12 to 15 years. There's also a retirement fund or a retirement corpus that they're looking at. So these were the financial goals that they had specified. So in the previous part to this series, we had seen the the financial goals that they have, and we had mapped it as well. And in this, we are going to be seeing how they're going to be placing it on a timeline and how quantification can be done. So this is what the timeline is. These are the years within which they would want to raise that much of funds. And this is the amount of funds that they would want to have or accumulate at the end of these years to fund the financial goal or financial goals. Next is to create the financial plan post the financial gap analysis, similar to the template shown earlier. One needs to periodically review the financial plan to make suitable changes to it based on changing market conditions, economic factors, and also to optimize the portfolio to make sure that the risk quotient in the current portfolio is not exceeding the expected risk. Also, revise the financial plan when required if there are possibilities and opportunities to improve the return on investment. So this is a financial checklist. The first one which you need to be seeing is how you're funding your investment. What are the savings that you have? How are you investing? Which are the avenues that you're investing in? What are the returns that you're getting? And finally, the aim of financial planning is to create wealth. These are certain points to remember when one embarks on his or her investment journey. First one is to do a detailed and true analysis about your current financial status. Do not include any probable incomes, even if there is a slightest doubt in receiving the same. So you should be absolutely sure about the source of income and the receipt of the same. Identify your financial goals. So make sure to time them out well, and preferably space them out well so that you can enjoy your goals with less stress. Do a thorough analysis of all the investment avenues available, and only then decide on those you want to invest based on your preference, risk return appetite and expectation, timeline of your goals, deposit and withdrawal ease, etc. Monitor your investment time and again to make suitable changes to your financial plan and portfolio. So as much as making a financial plan is important, reviewing and revising the same is equally important. And always maintain a table or an Excel sheet of your investments. It makes you a lot more organized, and being organized is extremely important here, because that way you will be able to understand where you have invested, how much you have invested, when is the withdrawal time, what is the interest that you're getting, etc. So all the details on one sheet of paper will make it a lot more easy. So you can use, you can either write it down or you can have an Excel sheet for your convenience. I hope this video has given you clarity on how one can make a financial plan. Looks like Anna is all set to make hers. Hope you found this video informative. If there are any other concepts and questions you would want me to explain, do let me know in the comments section. You could go through my channel to learn more concepts on personal finance as well as other management related subjects. Here's to happy learning now and always.